Good evening and welcome to the January 28th, 2019 meeting of the Auburn Board of Selectmen. In accordance with the open meeting law regulations, I would like to announce that this meeting is being recorded and ask if there's anyone in the audience also recording. Seeing none, could we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have no one who has signed up for public comment. We have no public hearings or presentations. We have no communications. Under Board of Selectmen general items, we have a seasonal open-air license on town property for a Girl Scout cookie drive, Troop 64778, at the Auburn Public Library on February 3rd, 2019. Is there a representative here?
Yes, Christina Nashville.
If you could come up, please, and join us at the table. So we have your paperwork here with us. If you could just say your name again for the record.
Sure. My name is Christina Nashhold, and I'm a co-troop leader for Brownie Troop 64778 in Auburn.
So, as I said, we have your paperwork here. There's no opposition from the fire department or the police department. You have met with DCG, but this is something a little different than we've seen come before the board. So could you talk to us a little bit? We have the map in front of us. Talk to us a little bit about what your plan is and for this cookie sale.
Sure. Our goal was to try and create a different way for the girls to try and sell Girl Scout cookies within town. And working with our service unit, which is called the French Quarter, which also incorporates Auburn, Oxford, and Charlton troops as well. So for this, the idea we came up with was we had actually seen another troop do it in Boston, and they set up basically a pop-up cookie drive-through where troops would be set up in a particular manner where patrons could come forward, drive through, knock it out of their cars, and the girls would be able to sell with them to their window, and then they would be able to drive off. So that's kind of how the idea germinated with us. We thought the public library would be a good location for us in terms of traffic and being able to be seen, and then in working with in our last meeting, in trying to understand the traffic flow, they asked us to keep the entrances and exits open so you can leave and come back, or go in and come back through both entrances like you normally would to the library. But with parent assistance, we would direct traffic and basically have 2 lanes. So they'd be from Southbridge Street, cars could be turning in, and they would be using the outer lane, which is kind of these white arrows here, to come into the venue and be directed either to Troop 1 lane or Troop 2 lane, depending on the traffic, as well as coming in through Brotherton Way and basically using the outer lanes and the natural traffic flow of the way the library is already set up to come through. The girls would be stationed towards the end, and they would be, adult leaders would be with them. And these are a range of from girls that are 7 and 8 from 2nd grade through 5th grade, 5th and 6th grade girls that we have. So, and then they would all exit the same way and out through onto Southbridge Street. So that's kind of the overall piece of it. We do have 4 troops that are signed up. They sign up in 2-hour blocks. So it would be 2 troops at a time, one from 10 to 12, and then 2 more troops would come in from 12 to 2, and then it would close down.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Holstrom.
Thank you. Well, welcome, and thank you for coming up tonight.
Thank you for having us.
I guess my concern is safety. I haven't quite seen this type of a setup before to have this kind of a drive-through cookie drive. Have you researched this? Have other troops done this? Has it been successful and uneventful?
Yeah, I mean, the 2-troop method is unusual. where it's just one troop. Actually, just recently, a troop in Holden set up in a church parking lot they're affiliated with, and put out their sign, and cars just came through with adult supervision. So those girls, the adults helped to manage the traffic and make sure the girls were safe, set up the protocol. You don't approach the vehicle until the car is stopped, and then you step away behind a safe line. So in this particular fashion, we'd have a tent so that you could obviously see where the girls would be, one of those easy pop-up tents that you would traditionally use for the summer. For each troop, we'd also use roping to try and make sure that it was clearly understood where the girls were going to be, where cars should be, and utilizing parents to help direct traffic as well. All these parents are required to be Cory checked who are on site, which they are through Girl Scouts. And so, but it's a pretty basic process. So they drive up, you put your order in, they give you the cookies, and you drive away, is the basic, has what we've, in our research, what we've seen in the past to be successful. I haven't heard of any hiccups in regards to that. Not to say that they couldn't be, but that's traditionally the method that has worked.
Okay, and just a follow-up, if I may. It shows here by the map that it looks like it's all one direction. Some people, they don't know one direction. Some people will sneak in and try to go the opposite direction if they say that they're not quite sure how this is going to work. Is there any chance that a car can go opposite, so you have two lanes? Somebody comes down the wrong way or something, that's when you can find that there may be a safety hazard.
Sure. Our goal is to actually have, I think the challenging part would be from the Southbridge Street entrance, where people might think that they could turn into where we've kind of designated as the exit lane. So our plan is to put a parent there to help direct traffic plus signage, so that it's clearly indicated that this is, exit or, turn in this way, to make sure that that cars know where to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think
Mr.
the library is the perfect place, and the way you have it set up looks like an ideal layout. Did you intend for the arrows in front of the building to be opposite what they are? Because normal driving in US, you come in to the right and...
Correct.
So
That was my
Okay, so
Photoshop error, correct.
that's going to get reversed.
We will not be utilizing European driving standards, so I apologize. That is mine, and that is a great point.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a strategy to
No.
why you had it, or if it just needed to be reversed.
No, and thank you for pointing that out. No, that's just a Photoshop error on my point.
Okay, no, best of luck to you. It looks like a great idea, especially in the cold, as long as the girls can stay warm
Supposed to be
somehow.
44 according to the Weather Channel, so with no snow.
If I may, they can't tell you what happened yesterday.
No, I know. I do understand. I definitely do understand that. I'm hoping that, this, we luck out in this particular weather. We got rained out on or iced out at our other cookie booth that was supposed to be held outside at a local business a couple weeks ago, or two weekends ago. So we're hoping that this is an opportunity to build something that maybe is a tradition, if it's successful, for that, for troops to come as an option, since the option to go door to door is not really encouraged anymore unless you know the people, which is how I grew up selling Girl Scout cookies. And so we're just hoping that this maybe creates something that is buzzworthy, and look forward to if it's successful.
Okay, thank you. I have a couple of questions, actually, for Mr. Kazanovich. On the memorandum from the DCG, it says the applicant shall submit a revised site plan. Do you know if this is a revised site plan, or are they providing a new one?
If it's two troops, I'm sorry, this is the revised site plan.
And generally, when there's an event happening at the library or the fire department, we generally have something in our packet, a sign-off from, either Dr. Collins or Chief Coleman. In this case, it would be Dr. Collins. Is there a reason that's not in this packet?
She was at the DCG meeting. And
Okay.
You see her name in the email.
Yeah, I made a note of that she isn't in the email stream.
There's been emails back and forth where she's expressed no problem.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I think given the fact that it's on Sunday, it doesn't present a problem with the library in their operating hours.
Okay.
Saturday would be a different story, but to the best of my knowledge, Sunday does not present any problems with Dr. Collins.
Mr. Berthew?
Through the chair, one last thing, couple of things. I noticed you brought a sample with you.
I did. It should not be construed as a bribe in any way, shape, or form. I will be leaving these with you when we leave, regardless of the outcome. And I do have Thin Mints in my car, just in case.
In case you did need a bribe.
Is that, there used to be boxes, is that all new packaging?
Actually, I brought you a special line. So there are, and if you don't know, there are 2 bakers for Girl Scouts, and depending on where you live, is the baker that you get. And so for here in Central Mass, all of our cookies are boxed. However, if you go towards Framingham or even Burlington, they have the other cookie baker, and they make 3 types of cookies that we don't get here. Like, they make a different lemon cookie, a different s'mores cookie, and then they make this thanks a lot cookie, which I thought would be appropriate, that you can't get here. So I thought I would bring what we typically, what you can't get here.
Sounds like a cut before the
Shortbread with
horse.
chocolate underneath, so.
And my real point to bringing all that up is, being a drive-through, is there a set price for each box, or is each flavor a different price? Only because I think if we announce it tonight, that, it's $5, maybe people that are driving through will have a $5 bill ready for you.
Sure. The majority of the cookies are $5. There are 2 cookies that are $6. One is the gluten-free one, which is called Toffee-tastic, and the other one is the s'mores cookie, which for whatever reason is $6. So,
So 5 or
other than
6.
that, $5 is the price of the cookie.
Okay, just,
I think she's going into marketing.
Is there
thank
anything
you.
else?
No, thank you.
Is there a motion?
I apologize. I was, in our other meeting, they suggested that we ask for a fee waiver, and I wasn't quite sure how to make a motion for that, or
Okay,
what the proper procedure is.
so we'll make, first I'll entertain a motion whether we're going to approve it, which you'll hear in a moment.
I'll make the motion that we approve the license, provided that all the applicable requirements of the state and town and any of its departments, boards, and commissions have been fulfilled. Said license is subject to all the conditions stated upon it, and failure to comply with any and all the conditions shall invalidate the license and render it null and void.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So voted. So now, as a nonprofit, we entertain motions. If you just make a simple request that we waive the fee, then one of my board members would consider making that motion.
Thank you. I would like to request a fee waiver for this event, please.
There's been a request to waive the fee.
I'll make a motion that we approve waiving the fee.
Is there
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So voted. And that is this Sunday.
This Sunday,
This Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. So,
Great good luck, and hopefully.
great,
And, but yes, it'll be this Sunday.
Great.
10 to 2.
great.
Thank you
Have a
very
great
much.
event.
Thanks for
Take
being
care.
here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'll leave these with you.
Thank you. The next item we have is a discussion and a potential vote on the swimming pool feasibility study. First, I will open up for discussion. We had a report. I will open it up for discussion to see how members want to consider moving forward with this. Is there any comment? Mr. Holstrom?
Yeah. I think that we've got a lot of information here. It's been put out there as of our last meeting. From what I can see, I don't think we can go any further with any further information, so how much discussion we can actually have here tonight, I don't know, but I think what we should do is propose to have a open hearing, a public hearing for our next meeting, which would be February 10, 11? 11, okay, and at 7 o'clock, and just, my feeling is that after the last meeting we had the presentation, we've had this information, it's been on the website, and make it known that we're going to have a public hearing next week that allows people to make phone calls, send emails, send any comments, questions, and then after the public hearing is closed, then we can vote on it next meeting and decide one way or another what we're going to do from there.
Is there other discussion? Mr. Berthium?
I just want to share, in speaking with the athletic director regarding, possible swim team at the high school level, there is a little bit of interest for a swim team. Right now, there is one person that's that goes to Grafton as part of the Grafton swim team, because she was the only one in town that evidently pursued it. She is a senior. There is other people that they've gotten together and they've talked about a swim team, and they're working in meeting and seeing whether something like that is feasible. And whether we have a swimming pool in town or not, they can go forward and have a swim team. There's other facilities around. There's a few other schools in the area that have a swim team, but they don't necessarily have a pool, so they use area swimming pools that they share. So as of right now, the athletic director is still, gathering information and entertaining the possibility of a swim team. It is a winter event. It's a winter sport, if it were a high school sport. So if we did have a swimming pool in town, in order for a high school swim team to utilize it, would need to be an indoor pool. And so as of right now, like I say, whether we have a swimming pool or not, they can continue forward with their ability to have a swim team if they get enough interest for it. So it was really good information that I received, and I think very helpful for us in helping us to make some decisions. And I thank Mr. Davis for that information.
Anyone else?
Well, I'll make the motion then that we hold a public hearing on February 11th, Monday, at 7 o'clock, and hear from the public, and hopefully we'll hear something. Well, we'll have the public hearing, and then a proposed vote on that same night.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Under discussion, Mr. La Liberty, did you have something?
Just to clarify, so under the current proposal or motion, we would have to take a vote next meeting after the public hearing?
That's part of my motion.
So we couldn't, and then choose to maybe delay it again if something comes up at the meeting, say we wouldn't want to take a vote that night? Would our hands be tied?
I don't believe your hands would be tied.
Okay.
I just,
We could propose a vote.
yeah,
Okay.
potential vote. Okay. So just under discussion, I fully support this. When we first came out and asked the public about this, it was a lot of unknowns. Do you support a pool? Do you support it? And that's why we had the hearing at that time, with all kinds of questions. Do you support a pool? Do you support an indoor pool? Do you support an outdoor pool? What types of activities do you envision, taking place at this indoor or outdoor pool? Who do you expect to use it? There were beautiful charts and everything. But now we've through a grant, spent $30,000 on a feasibility study and have some solid information for cost for an indoor, cost for an outdoor. I would ask that Mr. Kazanovich have some, which some of us, we all have it via email, have information on the impact of the tax rate at that time. But I think it's important that now that we have gone through this $30,000 feasibility study, we solicit more public comment, so I fully support this. Before I call the roll, Mr. Labonte, are you here for this item? No? Okay. Is there any comment? Okay. Is there further discussion? All those in favor of holding a public hearing on February 11th at 7 PM?
Aye.
I,
Anyone opposed? It's unanimous. Next item we have is a drain layers license for MJS Excavating of Hardwick, Mass. We have the documents per our policy. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, is there a motion?
make a motion to approve the license provided that all applicable requirements of the state and town and any of its departments, boards, and commissions have been fulfilled. Said license is subject to all the conditions stated upon it. Failure to comply with any and all the conditions shall invalidate the license and render it null and void.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion under the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It is unanimous. Under gift acceptance, in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53A, to the Fire Rescue Department in the amount of $100, we have an anonymous gift for the Fire Department gift account. Is there a motion?
Motion to accept with gratitude.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It is unanimous. We have no proclamations. We have nothing from the town manager, correct, Mr. Kazanovich?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay. We have no tabled items. We have no Board of Selectmen member items. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, we have the minutes of January 14th, 2019.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, we just wanted to give a quick update. So Lionel and I, or Mr. Berthium and I met as part of the, what do we call the media subcommittee.
Yeah.
We met today, so we didn't have time to put anything official on the agenda, so we just wanted to give a quick update that we are hoping to put together a policy on how to use live streaming and live stream our meetings to YouTube, and then at our next meeting, open it up for discussion and have everyone talk about it and give input and give a more in-depth update. But we just wanted to let everyone know that that would be coming at the next meeting.
Great, thank you. Anything else? Going back, we have the minutes of January 14th, 2019. Are there any corrections or omissions? The chair will accept them as written. If there's nothing else, is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Have a
Thank
good
you
night.
and good night.